Will it be him visibly or spirits?
So we all supposed to have the same spirit that he has, but you got to remember when he resurrected, he didn't just resurrect in spirit. He resurrected in flesh. You know what I'm saying? To the point where his disciple Thomas went and touched his wounds. And when he rose up, or you know what I'm saying, when he went up on the cloud, most high in Christ, you know what I'm saying? He went up body. Say he's physically seated at the right hand of the Father. He's physically returning. So he's physically going to rule. So this is going to be his actual return because he paid the cost to be the boss. That's right. So as a result, he gets to, you know what I'm saying, enjoy the fruits of his labor. On the bar. Mm-hmm.
It's like, if I may, Saran, I got a question, right? Let's say, you know, a brother, he's been in the truth for some years, right? Mm. And he's still struggling with, you know, past trauma, and he's been really analyzing himself. And this past trauma is actually trauma that he hasn't dealt with since he was a youth. Mm. What would some scriptures help him through that?
So, number one, okay, everybody, you know what I'm saying, that's we're getting a little feedback. We could lower maybe the volume on the mic. But as far as okay, if you weren't born inside the truth, you could put the mic up just a little. Just what's the levels looking like? What's like they're looking low? Like I just want to make sure the people could hear this it was broadcasted. Tawab?
Tawab, sir.
Okay. So here's what happens, right? I wasn't born in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like I came in the truth at 22. So it's like I spent my 20s undoing the first 2 decades of my life. You know what I mean? Like nobody comes inside every day inside the truth, you're gonna be fighting the old man. Every day inside the truth, you're gonna be fighting, you know what I'm saying, who you were. And there's certain things, you know what I'm saying, that every single one of us are going to have to face. Every single one of us is going to have to deal with. And what happens is the greatest thing that you can do before I even, you know what I'm saying, give you a scripture about, you know, being born again or putting off the old man, whatever the case may be. The greatest thing that you can do is call for counsel. Greatest thing that you could do is, you know what I'm saying, is to ask for help. So we have absolute experts inside the school. You know what I'm saying? Lord Christ, how you are? So we have experts inside the school. You know what I'm saying? General Muhammad being the head of the counseling department to be able to help you deal with, you know what I'm saying, these past traumas and these issues. But what you got to realize is closed mouths don't get fed. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. You know what I'm saying? Like so you had that sister, right, who had an issue with blood. And You know, did she just sit at home and say the Lord's gonna fix it?
Nah, sir. So like if I may, she fought through the crowd just to even touch his fringes.
So so Christ is doing something, right? He's working. You know what I mean? He's paying that cost we were talking about a moment ago. He's there, just like we go out on the street. We all traveled to Houston multiple times for the feast. We all here inside this building. You know what I'm saying? I showed up to teach today. You know what I'm saying? Capt Chaataza can't stop him from teaching. He's teaching 9 days out the week. So there's also something on your part, meaning the person who wants to be healed has to reach out. If she don't reach out to touch the hem, does she get healed? No. So there's something on the teacher's part, and there's something on your part. So the first thing that you got to do is you got to swallow your pride. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is not just for you. This is just across the board. You know what I'm saying? And call for counsel. Call for help. So from there, you could start identifying it, because if not, here's what's going to happen. You'll either learn from wisdom, you know what I'm saying? Like, meaning like the wisdom of instruction, or you'll learn from the wisdom of pain. Because what'll happen is that trauma, when it manifests negatively, what's the most negative way that it could manifest as?
I don't know, sir.
Anger. What could anger cause? What could be the byproduct of anger?
Sin, of course, but like physically, like you lashing out at somebody else, or
So if you lashed out at somebody else undeserving, if you sinned against your brother, what's a name for that? Okay, y'all saying it. Transgression is sin. Sin is transgression of the law. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking for something real specific, Ed. Huh? Hate. Resentment. Okay. What if you resent somebody? If you hate somebody? If what does that cause? Sin, transgression. We all saying all the blanket terms. You know what I'm saying? So y'all talking about the cause. Okay, y'all what y'all talking about the root. What's the effect?
Isolation, sir.
Okay, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like isolation is passive aggression. It's not handling the issue. It's not facing the issue. Okay, if I called you a bitch, what did I just do?
Offended me.
That's what I need. It causes an offense. You see my anger, my rudeness, my evil towards you? I needed, what's the result of it?
You offended me.
The result of it. Now, I called you that in this instance because of my anger, my lack of control for my spirit. Maybe my lack of control for my spirit comes from childhood upbringing, comes from being around rude, argumentative people or a hostile environment. Now, I've been like that for 20, 30, 40 years. And then I come inside this school. Can I carry that on with me?
Lies.
So if I don't ask for help in how to counteract that, I'm going to do it naturally. If I do it naturally, now it's going to be an offense. Now I'm in counsel. Now, you know what's going to happen? Judgment is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be put through a trial. You know what I'm saying? It's basically someone now, okay, someone is now going to raise you. Someone is now going to help you heal. Someone is now going to correct you. Someone is now going to do what your parents should have done, your environment should have done. It takes a village, what the village should have done for you all that time ago. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you don't want. What you don't want is your issues, your shortcomings, your battles to become an offense against someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want your emotions, because here's the thing, emotions are temporary. You know what I mean? Like nobody's like that's why it blows my mind. Like when somebody says something like, you know, like, what do you want to be? I just want to be happy. I try to stay away from people like that. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay away from people who just want to be happy, because happiness is not like an achievable goal or a destination. You know what I mean? Just like, you know, happiness is a temporary emotion. You ever hear somebody, I just want to be angry. I just want to be sad. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to be any of those emotions. All those things are feelings that you process and that you deal with as you go through the motions of life. So happiness is not an achievable goal. What you really need is self-control. What you really need is peace within yourself. What you really need is governing your own spirit, so that the external doesn't cause you to be an emotional wreck internally, and then now you're exerting something onto someone else. So some things you might be aware of. You know what I'm saying? So what's up, brother? Oh, okay. Officer Dawud is a funny guy.
You got to watch it back there and see how it looks too.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do for a second, right? So you go back there, look at the camera, he'll adjust it, and then you know what I'm saying, y'all call out to each other to fix it, all right? We'll do it like that. So hold it right there. How does it look? Right there is perfect. The water. Good work. All right, so what happens is you're going to have to ask for help, because here's what happens, right? Let's go to Matthew's the 18th chapter. Let's start at 18:1. Who got it?
18?
Yeah, Matthew's 18. We're going to start at the first verse.
Matthew chapter 8, verse 1.
18.
I mean, 8. Matthew chapter 18, verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them. Verse 3. And said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and be as a little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Let me ask y'all something, man. So where did this trauma? I almost gave it to y'all, but where did this trauma stem from?
From his youth.
From your youth. You know what I'm saying? So what damaged you in your youth caused us to all be damaged, you understand, adults. We got to be born again, and we got to go back before that pain. We have to become who we were supposed to be before the world damaged us, before the world molded us, but before it sexually abused us, before it physically beat us, but before it verbally berated us, before it oppressed us, before it damaged our mental. You know what I'm saying? We got to go back there. And not only do we got to go back there, but here's what it is when it comes down to children, right? Okay. Children don't believe they know everything. They haven't seen everything. You know what I'm saying? So from children not seeing everything, when you put them inside school, everything's new. Now they're able to go and move with the program. The problem is we start to have preconceived notions about how we think things are supposed to be done. we get rigid, we get stuck inside our ways, we get stubborn, we get stiff-necked. And in being stubborn, in being stiff-necked, in being all these things, it's like we become too rigid, or we think that the way we've been going, we get put in survival mode. And who we are as surviving becomes our personality, when that's not who you would have been if you weren't inside this environment. It becomes a defense mechanism. We got to get back to that point, you understand, to who we were prior to that, and not be so high-minded to think that we know everything so we could receive the Lord's program. We need the Most High's program. We need what he dictates to us, because doing it our own way, doing it their way, doing it the world's way is what gave us the trauma in the first place. It's what damaged us in the first place. So if you want to be great, you got to come as a child, and a child is eager to learn. A child is, you know what I'm saying? Y'all obviously, you guys talk to a kid. Why? What's that? How you do that? And that's why, like, even with my son, if I'm driving somewhere, if he asks me how long till we get there, out of curiosity, if he wants to know what city we're in, if he wants to know what's along the way, he's being inquisitive. I don't have a problem with that. Now, if he's asking because he's bored, I have a problem with it. Now it's when we get there. But if he's asking because he's trying to understand distance, you know what I'm saying? Now I want to teach you. But you see how kids are inquisitive? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like kids haven't had the life experience. You know what I'm saying? It's damn near why when you're young, all you want to be is outside, because you don't want to miss anything. Kids don't want to go to sleep because now we can't wait to go to sleep or take a nap, even get sleep, especially as an officer in here. You know what I'm saying? But because it's like you know what you're not missing based off that. I'm not missing nothing. I'm missing out on rest right now. I know what's out there. Kids don't know what's out there. The whole world is a new experience. That's how you got to treat this truth. That's how you got to treat learning this. You have to be willing to receive the instruction. And you have to be willing to let that mold you, let the Lord's program mold you, and not be what you think it should be. We have to become what the Lord is dictating it. And you know how you know that? You know that from your parents. As a kid, you know you have an authority. The problem is that as an adult, you don't have no goddamn authority. Well, my authority are my spiritual fathers. You understand? Command Jenny General Mahaiman, you know what I'm saying? Or who they put in charge as Captain Isupk, my big brother. You know what I'm saying? Because big bro learned from pops. So as a result, he knows the ropes to be able to tell me what's going on inside of here. So as a result, we have to be those children, that youth, that receptive, that instruction for us to be able to heal in the first place and stop thinking that we know better. Read on.
Verse
4.
4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this
You know,
little,
read 3. Read 3 again.
and said, verily I say unto you, except you be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
If you cannot be converted, if you can't change, you can't make it into the kingdom. Because I've said this all the time. I'll say it again. If there was a mass exodus right now without anyone changing, and all of us together went into the jungles of you know what I'm saying, South and Central America, we're leaving with drug dealers, we're leaving with whores, we're leaving with thieves, we're leaving with scholars, we're leaving with elderly, we're leaving with the youth. We're leaving with the good and the worst of all of us. You cannot have a functioning society without moral order and without rules. So when the Most High hits this reset button, he's got to hit this reset button, because this world right now is remember the last time we had class, we talked about how this devil ruling over us made the earth as a wilderness. And he made the earth as a wilderness when he took the word of God out of here. So everything outside here is lawlessness. It's animals. It's why you can get high, you can sleep with anything, you can do it's why you can feel any lust that you want. And here's where you learn how to battle that. And here's where you learn how to follow the rules. And here's where you follow the Most High's program. So in us following that, in us being converted now, we're able to function amongst each other. Like I said this earlier, I was talking to General Haas, and I'm like, this was an incredibly clean Passover. It was so much love. It was so much brotherhood. And I even told them I'm glad that it rained. I love that we were in the rain because I'm tired of people thinking that shit's sweet. You know what I'm saying? We have to be able to get through the sunny days and the rainy days together. And in the rain, we got to remember the black party when it didn't rain. And when it's not raining, we got to be appreciative that we can have this party. And we have to do that functioning together. You saw how much love was on that stage? Yashikar performing, the general dancing with the sister. You know what I'm saying? Command General Yohana getting up there, spitting to all his brothers, bigging up the generals that been rolling with him and helped build everything that you see in the name of our king. You understand? For the Most High. Like, that can only happen if we change and we're on the Lord's vibe. That can only happen if we decide to no longer be who we are and be in tune with that. So when we reset and we get into that kingdom, we go as the people who are no longer going to lash out on each other and cause those offenses. Because how can we build if we're going to continue to offend each other? Because if we offend each other, then guess what happens? And that's when I want to go into isolation. Because why do I want to be around you if you're just going to be an asshole and offend me all the time? I'd rather just be at peace. Ain't that why? All on the internet, what do you see? I just learned I want to be alone. The older I get, the more I want to be alone. You know why? Because they're in a world where they go out and everybody's going to offend because they're all selfish. And here's where we want to be around each other. And here's where we prefer each other. And we prefer each other because of how healthy the environment is. And that environment can only be healthy if we decide to rebuild ourselves so that once we're around each other, we're like those kids. Like you see kids just want to play. They don't even have to know each other. You just release a child into the park, and before you know, he got 5 friends at the slide. You understand? And if these children are well-mannered and behave the rules, all you're going to see is fun at the park. That's why all there was fun at our park. I had an amazing time at the all-black party. I don't know about y'all. My brother from the world came, my brother Vic. He used to rock with me in Dawada. And all he kept talking about was how real the brotherhood is, how cool everybody's been with him. You know what I'm saying? How great the food is. You know what I'm saying? Like how dope, you know what I'm saying, the vibe is. That's how it's got to be, because once again, Christ said, he shall know that ye are my disciples by how you treat one another. Well, if all I got is all this trauma and I'm a walking offense, we can't treat anybody well. So we have to be born again and converted to how we were before that trauma. And the only way that happens is if we're teachable. The only way that happens is if we don't know everything. Read on.
Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
And the same shall be the greatest as the kingdom of heaven. Like, one of the greatest men I know is General Muhammad. And if that phone rings and he's cut him a concert, I know he's talking to Commander General Yohana. Because even though he's my father, that man converted himself to someone who could receive instruction. And if somebody as mighty as him can, why the hell can't I? Like, I think about all the amazing soldiers inside of here. Captain Mashak, you know what I'm saying? Captain Malakwa, Captain Nazaryak. You know what I know? Every single one of them are on this agenda and this program. They act out all these orders, all this instruction perfectly to the T. That's why they're so great. That's why this is not the kingdom of heaven is within you. Is not this supposed to be the kingdom? Why do you think those are some of the greatest names? Because those brothers been converted. Because those brothers say Khan out of one Khan and follow the program. And you know what else they do? They call for counsel. Yeah, wait, now, maybe because I counseled or have counseled people, whatever the case may be. You think I don't call for counsel? You think I don't receive instruction? You think I don't have orders? That's how this thing works. That's how this thing moves forward. There's nothing I'm doing right now that I didn't learn. There's nothing that I'm doing up here right now that I haven't been taught. Because if there's anything that I know, it's the truth don't change. Now, I'm guilty of this too, so it's okay. Or I was guilty of this in my youth. Any of y'all asked the same counseling question to multiple people before? I have. Did you get the same answer? And did you say, man, General Hyman said the exact same thing? Damn. Capt Chaataza said the exact same thing. Damn. Officer Dawada said the exact same thing. Now, here's what trips me out. You asked General Hyman this question and then came down to me to ask me the question. Now, I'm glad I said the same thing, but you know why I said the same thing? Because the counsel was never mine. It was the Lord's. It's the Lord speaking to you. It wasn't my words. It was the Most High's words. And the truth don't change. You know who didn't want to change? You. You know why you didn't want to change? You looked for a different answer. You looked for something else. You looked for the easier route because guess what? It's difficult for you to change. You don't want to lift that weight off yourself. You don't want to do those push-ups. You don't want to run that extra mile today. You know what I'm saying? Like the greatest, there's no form of progress that doesn't come with some sort of strain. It's like reading. You could read one page today, another page tomorrow before you guys start getting sleepy. Before you know it, you build up a tolerance. You could damn near read a book in a day. You doing your push-ups. If you lift the same weight every day, you're gonna get stronger? No. If you lift the same amount every day, no. You have to keep adding weight to keep shredding those muscles. Well, it's the same thing when it comes down to changing yourself spiritually. You have to be able to combat. You have to go against the resistance. It's like when you want to get strong, that's why they make resistance bands, because that's what makes you stronger. You have to go harder to get stronger. Well, that happens spiritually. All of it happens in the same capacity. So we have to be able to fight and continue that and not run from what's difficult. Here's another thing too. If you ever feel like I want to ask this question, and then a voice comes in your head and stops you, pick up that goddamn phone right then and there and call that brother and ask that question, because Satan is trying to keep you where you are. He's trying to keep you on the couch instead of taking that jog. Keep you on the couch instead of going to the gym. This is the spiritual gym. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get to 3 or 4 plates if you're afraid to even walk through the door. You have to get outside of your comfortability. And that's why I loved when it rained at the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved walking through the mud and just, you know what I'm saying, hoping the Lord was with me and I didn't slip. I love saluting the Torah in the rain, and I'm like, these pictures are gonna be fire. The kids call it aura farming. I wanted the aura farm in the rain. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted the picture of me on that Torah like this, water dripping down. I needed fog. Let lightning strike right behind me, right as they take this picture. You know what I'm saying? And let the haters say it was AI. That's what I wanted. Shit was glorious. It was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was absolutely incredible. That's what I'm like, and we got through it together. And now, a year from now, if we're not out of here, 2 years from now, and the weather is incredible and the food is good, you know what I'm saying? And there's gonna be a new brother who came in the door. You're gonna be like, man, yo, you should have been here 2 years ago. It rained. You know what I'm saying? 5 years ago, yo, remember the Passover? We was all in the rain. We got an experience together. We got a bond together, and we got some dope ass pictures together. I'm waiting on them. I need to see that. I want to see that. I want to make a clip of it. Like I do. I just in vanity, you know, in my let me be I'm being a little vain now, but like I just feel like that is gonna be hardcore as hell. Doesn't the scripture say the Lord reigns on the just and the unjust alike? Yeah, that's what I read. I don't know about y'all. Read the next verse.
Verse 5. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
And that's another thing that you got to realize. Like we belong to Christ. So when we take care of each other, you receive in Christ. That's a part of that spirit that was there before. Because ain't that what all this was about? Wasn't all this about brotherhood? Wasn't all this about bringing us back together? So we all got to be able to function together. Read on.
But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believeth in me, and
Whosoever shall what?
Offend.
Who shall what?
Offend.
Let me tell y'all something. I've been through some hell in here. Lost women. Thought I lost my child for a time. Didn't know where the hell Zahar was. Eventually, I won full custody. Had to go to court, fight, slept on couches. Listen, when I first came in the truth, y'all might not know this. I was living in my car. I lost my apartment. Never missed a class. I picked up extra classes. You could talk to Kazak tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I hate that I got to talk about myself, but I just want y'all to know I went through hell too. So anything y'all going through ain't special. Because I used to go to Kazak's house just to use his Wi-Fi so I could do class and then leave and go back in my car. Now, Kazak was in the world at that time. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't Kazak. Otherwise, he probably would have put me up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, things were different back then. Eventually, he came in the truth because me and him used to battle every Monday. Let him tell you all the story. I'm not going to tell you the story. But my point is, we all go through hell. You know, the only time I wanted to leave? You think I never had thoughts about leaving? Here's another thing, too. I didn't want to leave because this wasn't the truth. I felt like I wanted to leave because it's like I felt like it's just too heavy. Like right now, I could swing this, do all that. This couldn't lift it anymore. You know what I'm saying? It felt, the truth felt like I felt weak. I didn't have any more fight in me in that moment. And you know what did it? Shalom, Shurda. Which one? Because you okay. Can no, definitely. But I know he wants to do the right thing. Okay. So I'm teaching a class right now. Can I call you when I wrap up? Okay, I'll call you in the morning. I'll give you a call probably around noon. All right. Shalom. All right. So what made me feel that weak in that moment, I was offended by a brother in here. And I felt like, what's the point? I'm already getting offended out there. What's the difference? We got to go through all this suffering just for this place to feel the same? And me and that brother reconciled. And I became stronger after that moment. But I learned something. I became horrified to want to offend anybody in here. And I became so horrified to not want to have an offense in here because I've lost apartments, I've slept in my car, I've lost women I loved, I've lost family, I've lost friends. There was a time where I lost my son, a time where I was ready to lose him again. I've been water thrown on me, death threats, lost jobs, lost money, people saying that I'm in a cult. You know what I'm saying? There's literally a time where I was living with this cat. He didn't tell me we were getting evicted. My name wasn't on the lease. We got kicked out the house at 7 a.m. I left there with my shoes, my wallet, and my clothes on my back. Because I wasn't on the lease, I couldn't get on the property. They made me wait all goddamn day just to tell me to come back tomorrow because I had to get my stuff from the trash because that's where they were going to bring it. Had to sleep in my car. The next day, came out there 7 a.m. to wait for them. I seen them walking around with my watches, stealing my shoes. I was about to go crazy. I said, you know what? I took my black clothes, my black boots, a pair of sneakers, my DJ equipment, and I left everything else. And you asked Dawada, for about 7 years in the truth, I lived with 2 pairs of boots. I had 1 pair of boots for work, 1 pair of boots for camp. And just camp clothes and black clothes in between. I didn't give a shit about looking fly at nothing but camp. Because it was like, it's like the Lord ripped everything away from me. And let me tell you something. All that I just told you combined didn't hurt me as bad as I was from that brother that day. Read this verse again.
Verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believeth in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged from about his
Y'all know
neck.
what a millstone is? So the way that, you know what I'm saying, you get flour is by crushing grain. And a millstone is a giant stone that'll roll around and grind that grain into that powder that you see, you know what I'm saying, which becomes flour, which is what we use to make bread and so on and so forth, right? It would be better for you to take that giant millstone that they have in a mill that refines, you understand, that wheat, tie it around your neck, and what?
Millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the deep of the sea.
And that gets thrown in the sea and you drown, kill yourself. It'd be better that you kill yourself than offend one of these children. That's why if I ever offend any one of y'all, tell me. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything that I say that bothers you, that's in your spirit, come tell me. Because the first thing that I want to do is make it right. Because I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to put a millstone around my neck. I don't think that I'm great and mighty in anything. I know everything that I have is because of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So if there's anything about me, tell me, so that this way I could make it right with you. Because I know what it was like when somebody wasn't right with me. And I never want to put that on anybody else. And I pray y'all never put that on anybody else. And the way that we can learn that, the way that we can work that out is through counsel. Now, once again, there's this ties back into what we were talking about with like Adam and Eve, right? Like this ties into what we were talking about the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You have 2 children, right? No, it's 2 kids right here. No, we won't use them. I won't put this on y'all. But if we had a completely different set of 2 young boys, right? And we told them, don't stick nothing in the electrical socket. one of them doesn't do it, the other one does. And one of them never does it off instruction, and the other one does and learns the evil, and now he knows to never do it. Which one of them is wiser? Raise your hand, Noble. What'd you say? You think he's wiser? Okay. What about you? What do you think?
Who's wiser, sir?
Hmm?
Is the one who listens to instructions.
Okay. What do you think? Okay. What do you think? I want all y'all to tell on yourselves right now.
I think the one that did,
You said what?
the one that did, because now he knows the consequences of doing it.
Okay. Okay. You two are right. Give them a hand. The wiser one is the one who learned from instruction. Because guess what? The downfall of man, and we got kicked out the garden because we did it. And we learned from pain. And unfortunately, we've had to keep learning from pain. The one who just listened to their father's instruction to begin with was wiser. Because guess what? They never had to learn the pain. Y'all want to learn evil. That's the problem. We should have just knew good. And don't get it twisted, brother. I didn't had to touch the stove many of times for me to learn. The lessons I'm telling you from pain. I wish I was that wise. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to be that. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get, you know what I'm saying, in that place to where we can just hear from instruction. Because if we can't, so you're gonna be on Shamar? Okay, so you stay on Shamar, all right? So we have to now get to that point where we can call for counsel, ask for help, and learn from instruction. Because if we don't, guess who's going to teach us? Experience, pain. So let's keep reading. Let's just keep reading this chapter. This chapter is going to explain everything. It's a beautiful chapter.
Verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses.
Woe what?
Woe unto the world.
Woe unto the what? And read it loud. Read it like we at camp.
Woe unto the world.
Woe unto the world. Because a moment ago, we just talked that everybody's isolating themselves in the world. Why? Because of offenses. Everybody's offended. Read on.
For it must needs be that offense come.
You understand? So now, it must needs be, you understand, that offenses come. Offenses are going to come. You understand? But woe unto them who caused them. You know what woe means? Destruction. Destruction is going to come onto them that caused them. That this is why conflict resolution is so important for us. This because if we can't resolve conflict and forgive each other, how can we operate amongst each other? How can we go to war together? How can we go to camp together? How could we do any of these things together? We can't function. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch a team, right? If y'all watch sports, the best teams are the ones that got the best chemistry together. They're the players that enjoy showing up together. You know what I mean? It's why people love that podcast with Mason Cameron if you watch it. Because their chemistry together. You know what I'm saying? Like it's why people love Cross the Line. The chemistry me and Capt have. Me and him have a brotherhood that's been forged in fire. You know what I'm saying? And it's not based on the world. It's not based on pride. It's not based on ego. It's based on brotherhood. It's based on this. It's based on the Lord bringing us together. That's how this works. You know what I'm saying? And you think me and him haven't said Salakia to each other? course we have. And I never want to offend that brother. He helped raise me in this. You know what I'm saying? In so many capacities, man, he's filled my cup, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like at any given time. You know what I mean? And it's like when the scriptures say, like, in a part of this, which is going to be one of the next scriptures I get to, is where it says, if you see ye a man of understanding. If you want to understand yourself, if you want to understand this world, if you want to understand how to heal, you got to go to the healer. You got to go to the doctor. But in order to go to the doctor, you know what you got to admit first? You got to admit you're sick. Otherwise, you're not going to the doctor. If you don't first turn around, like it's like you got a pain in your foot and you just try to ignore it. And we don't go until the pain becomes so unbearable. Whereas you probably could have fixed the problem way earlier on if you would have just took your ass to the doctor. So we got to go to the doctor. And you got to go to a doctor with experience. Same thing, like brother called me the other day talking to me about no, he didn't. No, this conversation was in person. But was talking to me about a single sister trying to give advice. Why am I listening to you? You haven't been married for 30 years. Steve Harvey been divorced 5 times. What does he know? What does he know about marriage? He know about how a failed marriage. You know what I'm saying? But he out here giving you advice when he done failed 5 times in marriage. Why don't you talk to somebody who's been successfully married for 30 years? You know what I mean? Like you don't go to a mechanic to fix your teeth. You don't go to a dentist to fix your car. You got to go to the expert inside of that field. You know what I'm saying? So General Haas is an expert in wars. So if I want to know about security, I can go to him. You know what I'm saying? General Mayak is an expert in the Hebrew. If I want to know about the Hebrew, so is General Q. I'm going to talk to them. And now they have other skills, but I'm just talking about expertise that I know offhand. You know what I'm saying? Even things outside. General Shalimar knows everything about solar. So I'm talking to him about trying to get solar for the school. It's you got to go to an expert in the field. Just like when the scriptures say, you don't consult the coward about manners of war. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to talk to somebody broke about trying to get rich. You got to go around the money. That's where you learn about finances. Well, guess what? I wanted to know about the Most High. Came to the Isupk. And in learning the Most High, you know what else you can learn about? You can learn about healing and counseling because it's in this book. Conflict resolution is in this book. Healing from trauma is in this record because the Lord is going to give us that wisdom because it's literally here. Like this is like you go to a job, you got an HR department, they give you that manual. This is our HR manual. That's what keeps the job functioning. Continue reading.
Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh.
But woe to who the offense cometh. Destruction unto him. Good.
Wherefore, if thou hand or thou foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire.
Brother, it would be better that you walk into the kingdom with a limp. You understand? Than for you to perish because you weren't able to cut that part of yourself off. Because once again, when it talks about cutting a piece of yourself off, right? So that you don't offend yourself. What you is it talking about? Good.
The part that was traumatized, your past.
Well, that's what you got to get rid of, right? But you got to get rid of it for whose sake?
For the kingdom's sake, sir.
True. But whose sake?
For your brother's sake.
Your brother's leg isn't being cut off. Yours is. For whose sake?
for your own sake.
Which you?
Your present, your future you.
You, the prophet you, the priest you, the converted you, the born again you. You understand? Because if you offend that you, who do you become? The old man. So if your arm is still the old man, you got to cut that off so that the rest of you can live. You can't offend yourself. You can't offend the prophet you. You can't offend the new you, the converted you, the born again you, the officer, the trooper. You have to maintain who you are and remove any part of you that's trying to pull you back. Facts. All right. Drop. It's in the same chapter. Let's drop down to 14. Yeah, pass the two. Pass the burden around. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You read some, then you pass it. Everybody gonna read a little bit.
Go concert. Matthew chapter 18, verse 14. Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones shall perish.
So it's not the will of our Father. Like the Most High doesn't take pleasure in the death of the wicked, but rather that they repent. It was just business to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you got to realize. It's just you wouldn't do the right thing, and now this is the repercussions that come with it. But it's not like a pleasurable thing. That's why it makes me sick when I hear fake Israelites talking about the 2/3, or they want to take, you know what I'm saying, a celebration in the destruction of their brother. 2/3 of you niggas got to go. How you know you ain't 2/3? Did you make it yet? Like I don't take pleasure in even Africa Bambaataa died the other day, and you understand. And when he was breathing, all I did was denounce him. But I denounced him and talked about the nasty child molester that he was, with hopes that he would change, and with hopes that other people wouldn't abuse children. Now he'd been put to death, but he needs to serve as an example to understand that no matter what sin that you commit, you can be put to death. And we all have to change if we're whoremongers. We all have to change if we're drug dealers. We all have to change if we're idol worshipers. We all have to change who we are, where we came from. We all have to be converted. We all have to be born again. We all have to become those children. We all have to battle our trauma. We all can't just make an excuse and just be like, oh, I was born that way. Nobody was born that way. The earth made you this way. Now, what are you going to do about it? Read on.
Come. Verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
No, go to YouTube and go live and slander the brother.
Between thee and him alone.
No, what you should do is you should gossip like a woman and go tell your friend and start poisoning the well of brothers against him.
Between thee and him alone.
This is what you should do. You should man up, and if you have an issue, you should go to that brother, to him and him alone. That's what happens. Somebody offends me, I pull them to the side. If I offend you, pull me to the side. Explain to me what offended you. Go ahead.
Okay. And if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Now, if he shall hear thee, how do you know he heard you? He says Salakia, but what if he said Salakia and he does it again? Did he hear you? So you go to him again. He says, Salakia. What if he does it again? Did he hear you? Here's what y'all need to understand. Salakia is changed behavior. Salakia is not just a word. Salakia is that man becoming conscious of how he offended you and making sure he doesn't repeat it. You can't just say Salakia and then continue to do the same thing over and over again. You got to say Salakia and you have to change and battle and fight that inside of yourself. Sometimes maybe you did it on accident. Could have happened. You know what I'm saying? And if you say Salakia and then you become mindful of it, then that brother heard you. Now that you know you've been heard, you gained your brother. It's not to lose the brother. It's to gain the brother. Because if you feel like I offend you and you mad at me, you gonna come to class? You gonna come to class? How can we be around each other? You know why we're all in this room right now? Because we have no offenses. Because we have the same will. Again, that's how we keep this thing going. Continue.
Come. Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more.
So now, you're trying to explain that he offends you, and the brother dismisses you. Now, you got to go to counsel. Good?
That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Every word may be what?
Established.
Every word may be what?
Established.
So now, we have witnesses, the words are going to be established, and somebody is going to judge this. You understand? Someone with wisdom is going to proceed over this. Now you're going to court. You got to think about counsel as a court case. All right? Now, I want to tell y'all something. But, all right, I'm going to tell y'all. I'm talking to a brother the other day, and this isn't the first time that I've heard this. And guess what else? This is something that I've said that I've been guilty of. Okay. Counsel is where if you're offended, you can get justice. However, what's the point? What's the actual point? What is not the point. What is the spirit behind going to counsel?
To work out to be brothers again.
Say it biblically. You just read it a moment ago. So what you said is true. Explain it based off what we've been reading. Give him a second. It's in the text.
To rectify all offenses.
Okay, you're using your words. What was the point of going to him and him alone?
To tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Okay. That's where we went. What's the point of it?
To gain a brother.
Give him a hand. You understand? The rectifying is to gain your brother. I went to you and you alone. The spirit was to reconcile, to gain you. Now I'm going to counsel. Why are we going to counsel?
To gain a brother.
That's why we're going to counsel. I heard somebody tell me the other day, I didn't lose a counsel. Were you trying to win? What were you trying to win? The only thing I want to gain or win in counsel is my brother back. Because the whole point that we're here is because we're beefing. Dog, I don't want to beef with you. I have no malice in my heart for you. I don't want revenge. I don't feel slighted. Even if you offended me, I don't want to hurt you. I'm trying to just make sure that I or you don't get to a point where we hurt each other. I genuinely just want to be back in a space where we're laughing and talking about growing greens and doing shit with the Akyum and getting food together and chilling. I'm trying to get back there with you. I'm not here to weaponize counsel. I'm not trying to use the generals like a scorned woman uses 911 against you. I want us to fix the bond. I want to gain my brother. That's why I'm going to counsel. Because I can't gain you alone. Help me gain this brother back. If you're going to counsel for any other reason, now you losing. Because the only thing you should want to win is your brother. That's the spirit behind it. And this is why the next step is so important. Read on.
"16. But if he will not hear thee, and take with thee 2 or more that are in the mouth."
So now he won't listen to you. He won't listen to the 2 or more. Well, there's another step in this process. Go ahead.
"That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Good.
And if ye shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church."
So now he don't want to hear the judges, the 2 or 3 witnesses. They like, yo, you wrong. Nah. Now guess what? Now we're going to grand council. Now we're going before all the Akyum, before all the priests, the princes, the teachers, the prophets. Now we're going before everybody. And the whole congregation, all of us, is going to hear the matter. Go ahead.
"But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican."
There's so many layers to this now. Because if you're, okay, 1 second. If he's getting kicked out, he can't be around us anymore. What does that tell you about the heathen?
They can't be around
They're
us.
not allowed in. This scripture right here is a cut to anybody who's trying to get the heathen inside of here. That just blew your mind, right? Yo, when it hit me, that shit blew my mind. Barakatha Yahweh Yahweh. You can't be in here. We're going to treat you like a heathen. Heathens can't come around. They can't come to the cookout. You saw that old boy got chicken winged and picked up by all 4s and thrown out like Jazzy Jeff? That's how we throwing you out of this school, because guess what? The brother tried to fix it with you. Judges tried to fix it with you. The whole congregation tried to fix it with you. You're a cancer. You don't love us. You want beef. You don't want broccoli. You want beef, bro. Like you don't want to just be cool, bro. You don't want to love each other. You don't want to resolve conflict. You got to get the F on. You got to go. You got to be treated like a heathen because you're not one of us. Because you don't got brotherhood. Because you don't love this place. because you don't want to treat this brother like Christ called him. You don't want to treat him like the child. You just gonna be mean to a child? Like what type of animal is just mean to children? So why would we be mean to each other if Christ is saying we're the children? Why would we not be patient with one another? Why would we not want to rebuild that bond? This is why a millstone should be tied around your neck. You gonna say something? I just didn't want to break that train of thought.
It's referring to this tiers, because you mentioned the tiers. It reminds me of how Esau has the Supreme Court, and how the Supreme Court is like an even higher level of court. But what the Supreme Court does is that it establishes a standard that applies to every court below it. So if, like, say, for instance, a council, for some reason, gets more known about what was going on, it can more or less, like, if it's a very specific thing that maybe hasn't necessarily happened before, is it like for that same purpose of creating a standard that's like, okay, we had this situation happen. Now this could be something that we share this information with all the schools so that they all know in this particular case that this is the outcome that should happen, because it got brought to our attention at this high level, that it then has to be something that's more talked about because it caused enough of a ruckus to get to that level.
We are all one.
Okay.
If you are against one of us, you're against all of us. Brother, if anybody offends you, he offends me. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's we are all in agreement. You, sir, are disagreeing with all of us when you disagree with him. There's a judgment here.
Okay.
We're a monolith. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay. If you got caught stealing and it was on the news, what would they say about the entire UPK?
They would say we're all thieves.
We're thieves. What you do affects me. One man stole a Babylonianish garment. What happened to the entire nation of Israel? We lost a war. One man thought he was King David. The nation split in the 90s. What you do affects your brother. We're all in this together. Now, to the judicial level, yes. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of why there was officers of 1,000, 10,000, and then the matters that they couldn't figure out, they brought to Moses.
Oh.
That state and supreme level, they got from the Bible. So that's absolutely true. However, the spirit of this, we're one. The whole nation is against you. You got to go.
Right.
Because I'm for you. I'm for you. I'm for you. I'm for you. We're together. What type of body is this? One body, one faith, one baptism. You understand? Like, it's so funny because me and Captain Zaryak, you know what I'm saying? We were joking the other day on Cross the Line, right? But when I'm like, Cap, I'm funnier than you. Put the poll up. We need a vote. Now, we're being funny, but get
that brother that became a heathen and a publican, if they make amends, can they come back?
now that's going to be a judgment for the council. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that brother would have to start over. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what the like that would be something for the generals as to where this is what I do know. I know I would make that brother work to get back in here. I would make it very hard for him to get back in here. And then if he succeeded, then he'd be able to come home. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got kicked out the garden. You know what the Lord put in the way of the garden? An angel with a flaming sword to make sure that we could not get. Can you go back to your homeland and take it? You know why? There's an angel there right now with a flaming sword blocking your ass from getting back home. Think about what we have to do just to get back home. So that brother who gets kicked out, brother, he would have to get past a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? A line of them, you know what I'm saying, to get back home. And that would be at the general's discretion. If there's anything that I know above all the Lord's power is his mercy. I know Commandant General Yohana is a merciful Lord. I know he's taught us mercy. So do I think that a brother like that could be redeemed? Yeah. If he comes back as a child. If he comes back and doesn't know it all. If he comes back and he's truly, what's the sacrifice of the Lord? Precept. This is true. Raise your hand. But that's true, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Is it Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16?
Let me hear it.
But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for which such sacrifices God is well pleased.
This is good, not what I'm looking for.
Okay.
It's very specific precept. Give me Psalm 51 and 17. You in the ballpark. This is a part of doing good, but more so.
Oh, Khan. Okay.
Yes, this is in the spirit of what we're talking about. Go ahead.
Oh, Khan, this is Psalm chapter 51, verse 17. The sacrifices of Yahweh are a broken spirit.
Or a what?
A broken spirit.
A what?
A broken spirit.
Go ahead.
A broken and a contrite heart.
You got to be that brother would have to be broken and contrite. You understand? That's the only way. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how we're all supposed to be if we sin against the Lord. If I offend my brother, I am broken and contrite because I want to make it right. Because it's like the scriptures say, if thy brother sue you for your coat, give him thy cloak as well. You understand? Because what's the whole point of giving the cloak as well? Okay, let me make it easier. The offense, what was the price of the offense? What was actually due for the offense?
At the very least, the coat.
The very least is the coat. That's the payment. You're driving your brother's car, you got into an accident. A judgment comes down. You got to fix the car. Right? You bought him a new radio system too. Now the brother at first was upset because he couldn't drive the car. Now you driving the car, but now he whipping and he got 2 10s and a 12 in the back, and you know what I'm saying. He bumping Capt or right. You know what I'm saying. Like, and you driving up and down the block, knocking. You know what I'm saying. How good do you feel driving that car? That brother went above and beyond. You still mad at him? You still gonna kick it with him? Shit, you might give him the car again. You're giving him the cloak so that this way, that brother forgets that offense. And that this way you can
gain a brother.
Gain him. Mm-hmm. We got to be able to gain each other back. That's the whole point of it. It's not to rip the goddamn pockets off of them. You understand? It's to make sure that you know I'm truly sorry for what I did to you. Can we be cool? It's that's how you know if a brother would be broken and contrite. You know what I mean? Like listen, man, I'm not gonna tell you who this is. There's a brother who told me this story. Okay, one, I'm not the friendliest person. You know what I'm saying? And part of that is my environment. Because where I'm from, if you smile too much, niggas think you're gay. If you're too nice, they think you're food. You either predator or prey. So I'm kind of like, I feel like I don't know a nigga till I know a nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm cordial though. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I'm not just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that gotta be built. That gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta know you. I don't know you. I gotta know you. Now, you get that oil poured on your head, you become an officer. Anybody who's an officer, somebody vouched for you, somebody stood for you. So you gotta raise your hand though. What were you gonna say? You got oil poured on your head, give him a hand for that. The Lord anointed you. I love getting anointed. I try to get anointed every chance that I can. And the point is, if a man stood for you, any officer could come in from another state and stay at my house because someone vouched for you. I don't know you. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to be dismissive. It's just something that I gotta fight in brotherhood as well. You know what I'm saying? And in that capacity, in us, you know what I'm saying, growing towards that, we start to build those bonds. We start to be able to come around each other. We start to be able to function. We start being able, you understand, for us to throw events. And the more work we put in together, the more, just think about the brothers who went through Hebrew Academy. The brothers that you went through that gauntlet with, y'all have forged a bond for life because you suffered together. Y'all know each other. That's what we got to get to. Now, he threw me off because I forgot my point. I was trying to run it back home. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember where the hell I was going. What the hell were we talking about?
Do you want me to read the scripture again, sir?
Yes.
Okay, come on. It was Matthew chapter 18, verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of two or three witnesses.
No, that's not it, man. I can't remember the point that we were making. Where the hell were we, man?
It was in that. Oh, Salaki. We was on the next verse. Salaki.
No, it's not even in the verse. We were talking about something. I lost it. Gotta find it. It's gotta come back. I was so proud of you and the oil, man. You know what I'm saying? I was so happy you said that. It erased all the thoughts that I had before that. Mm-hmm.
You're talking about how, you know, you were raised in New York, so.
But right before that, I know I was gonna bring this home, man. I'm hoping we'll find it. We're gonna move on from it. I'm hoping it comes back. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point was, you know what I'm saying, is that all of us in this journey, we're all gonna become that new man. We're all gonna be converted. We're all going to align ourselves with the will of the Lord. And for all of us to function around each other, we got to fight ourselves, because there's no point in, there's like, you got to realize, like, you know how many battles we're fighting? Like, brother, we're fighting the Roman Catholic Church, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're fighting, you know what I'm saying, principalities. And what you say? Raise your hand though.
It's like, sir, we're fighting the world.
We're literally fighting the world. How can we survive if we're not locked in together? It just won't happen. It's just not going to happen. So as a result, all of us got to be in here together, one mind, one body, one faith, one baptism. Because now here's the other point that I was going to get to. Me and Captain Zog were joking about who's funnier. It don't matter who's funnier. General Muhammad's funnier than both of us. You know what I'm saying? But this is what really matters inside all this. Me and him agree on everything in Christ. You could have your own favorite sports team. You could have your own favorite rapper. You could have your own favorite rap album. You could have your own favorite athlete, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Your own favorite food. But when it comes down to this record, we agree with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes down, there is nothing inside of here, which is why what we were talking about a second ago in that scripture, we're one. So if Commander Jenny tomorrow says the sky is really green, the world doesn't know what blue is. And we're going to teach that, and we're not literally teaching that, but we're going to teach that in the UK and here, and we're going to prove to you that blue is green and green is blue. That's it. I'm not different from my brother. I am the same as my brother. You get what I'm saying? Like we together are in this cult together. So as a result, remember when you walk outside here, you represent something greater than yourself. This is not about me. This is not about you. This is about the Most High in Christ. And together, we're that representation. So all of us have to do that and work through that together. Y'all understand? Questions?
Come on, sir. Aside from the book of Ezekiel talking about what's going on in the Middle East, what are some of the prophecies that pertain to? I guess what you said, that there is a specific scripture that I'm thinking of. You know the scripture that says, "I will remove off from you the northern army."
Which
So like I can find it. 1 second. This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 20.
okay.
And it says, Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. Of course, it's like, so this scripture is referring to, of course, the book of Joel is talking about the war, the end war, right? The Judgment Day war, the things that lead up into that. And when it's talking about, I guess my specific question is, when it's saying, "I will remove off from you the northern army," when it's saying northern army, is that referring, because north of the Mediterranean would have been the Greco-Roman Empire? Is that why it says northern army?
That I can't remember offhand. I would ask General Mahayman that on Thursday.
Come on, concert.
I can't remember that, and I know that that's not in this notebook.
Come on.
So we can ask him. I don't remember that breakdown. But as far as other prophecies you can use, the Euphrates drying up,
Okay.
Gog and Magog, both in Revelations and out of it. Matthew's the 24th chapter, as far as wars, rumors of wars, the earthquakes, one realm against another realm. Like, you don't have to. Commander Jenny will teach the color scriptures every time he goes out. So you don't have to like act like you got to go the deepest in your bag, because Matthew's 24 is happening right now everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like all the usual suspects are happening right now. Ezekiel 37, 38. Like you don't think, like, you could always build on it and look for other scriptures to add into it, but don't neglect the foundation of it.
Come on, concert.
But as far as that, I don't remember which armies those would be offhand.
Come. Because because you see, since the 90s, that there's talks of what they call the Greater Israel Project. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
The Greater Israel Project is the Jewish state's intention of basically confiscating the entire portion of the Middle East that's outlined in the
Now
scriptures.
that I do know they want, but I didn't know that that's what it was called.
Come on, concert. And it's in that same land that they've been pushing towards since like the 90s, trying to gain influence over, Kuwait, over the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia.
Well, I just seen on Google Maps, they're saying that they wiped out all the names of the cities north of Israel. So it looks like they're getting ready to rename them and take that land.
Who's doing that? You talking about the Jewish?
I just seen on Google Maps, like if you go and you look, like, you know, like you could see Tel Aviv and all that. Like there was a moment where you scrolled up and all that shit was blank.
On Google Maps.
Yeah.
Ooh, they got that kind of pull. That's wild.
I mean, they run everything.
So they call what they call it the Trump. Trump called it what? The Gulf of Texas, the Gulf of America. Or
Yeah,
something like
bro.
that?
They just, I told you, they snatched the president of Venezuela.
Yeah.
They said we're coming for Greenland. Listen, they just blocked Kanye West from coming into the UK and performing.
Oh.
And they're doing it because of what he said against Amalek. But they didn't ban anybody from Epstein's list. See what I'm saying?
Oh God.
They locked in. Questions? Any others? Or was there more on that?
Blah, sir.
Okay. Anything else before I get my freestyle bag? All right. Freestyle bag. Let me see. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yay. Let me see if I got a challenge for y'all. Hold on. Because we got about 20 minutes left. Let's see. Trying to think about things that have been in the news. You know what? This might be good for next week. Because I don't think I could run through this in 20 minutes. Next week, I'm going to give, unless something comes up, I'm going to give y'all a breakdown on chariots. Because, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people that's looking to the sky. They think it's aliens, it's Anunnakis, Project Bluebeam. They need to know, you understand, that there's two types of chariots. Two types of UFOs or IFO. What the hell are they calling them now? What are they? UAP? UAP? So you gotta know that there's two types of UAPs: the chariots of the Most High and the ones that say property of the U.S. government on the side of them. You know what I'm saying? So some of them people that's high right now watching TikTok and trying to figure out what's in the sky. That's something you could talk about. Let's see. We went over fallen angels, so y'all got some ammunition with that. Debating on that. I want to get something good. Hold on. Thank God I still have this notebook. I should copy this over. I'm not gonna hold you. That's all right. I don't know if that's. Let me see if y'all remember this. Precept for you're the seed of your father. While y'all looking for that, I'm gonna find your next challenge. Hold on.
It's like I said. Is it Numbers chapter 1, verse 18?
Nope. So when we battle, right? You gotta, like, for example, like when we battle on John 3:16, what are we battling?
Slucker, sir. We're battling who gets salvation.
True, right? But specifically, what is the Christian going to weaponize against you?
The world.
World. So when you go, if you want a laser precept, what do you have to do? You got to get precepts with the word world.
Come on, console, Isaiah 45, verse 17.
That's a great one. You got to show that there's multiple worlds, Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between the earth and the world, Psalms, right? Because that's what we're battling, right? So now I said, prove to you that you're the seed of your father. Ah, see, it's turning on now. Now the wheels are turning. Ezra, okay, where? 2 and 59. Get it for me. You were so close. Ezra. Well, just so you'll know, and the clarification, the Apocrypha is the Old Testament as well. All right.
This is the book of Ezra, chapter 2, verse 59. And these were they which went up from Telmelah, Telhasa, Cherub, Adon, and Immer. But they could not show their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Israel.
You understand? This right here shows that you are the seed of your father that determines who you are. Now, what words do we have there? Father's house, seed, all of the above. When you say something, you want to be able to prove it. Now, let me gauge this, all right? And this is extremely important, right? So there's things that we say all the time, right? Like, for example, when Christ was walking the earth at large, who was inside of Judea? What tribes?
Select, sir, if I may. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Where were the other tribes?
They were in Chaataza.
So they would disperse. Now, why did the kingdom split?
Select, sir. They split because of after King Solomon.
Okay, where is that?
That's
Where do you
in
find that?
2 Kings.
You sure?
And it's in
Where? Precept. So 2 Kings 17 is when the split happened. I said, why did the split happen? Y'all said Solomon. When did Solomon lose the kingdom? And if you don't know, how would you find it? Google. You know what I mean? Like, here's another thing. I want to teach y'all how to battle. I also want to teach you how to find answers. Because what y'all just gonna keep looking at me for every scripture? If you can't find a scripture, paraphrase it, throw it in Google. Now, it's not even in front of me, but I know for a fact off memory, it's 1 Kings, the 11th chapter. Now, here's what I want y'all to do. Everybody type in Google, what chapter did Solomon lose the kingdom? Good.
It says, according to 1 Kings 11.
This is Google.
Come on, sir.
And what did you type exactly?
I tell you, what chapter did Solomon lose the kingdom?
And now y'all found the answer.
Come on.
Go ahead, read it.
It says, Solomon lost the kingdom, meaning it would be divided after his death, because he turned away from God and followed foreign idols in his later years. It says, while the prophecy of the judgment is given in chapter 11, the actual division of the kingdom takes place in 1 Kings chapter 12.
So we see the division in 1 Kings chapter 12. We also see the split happening in 2 Kings, you understand, 17. So I want y'all to be able, because if you were talking to a Christian, right? Like, and let's just say it was a casual conversation, or maybe it was in public, maybe it was on TikTok. Now you're saying things, right? You're saying the kingdom split. What if a Christian asked you to show you? Would you be able to show him? You with me? Because every single one of y'all, right? Okay. When you were a trooper, you couldn't teach. Now you're an officer. You must teach. You're supposed to be apt to teach. Well, if you want to teach everything that we teach, you guys have to know how to find. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Be like, I got to call my Ottawa every time? Is that what you're going to do? Don't y'all want to have the answer? Don't you want to study to show yourself approved? And the beauty of notebooks, the beauty of that phone, is you don't have to remember where everything is. You know what I'm saying? But you should be able to have the ingenuity to be able to search and find an answer. Because I tell you what, if it was for a way for y'all to get a new wife, y'all would figure that shit out without me having to tell you. If it was to go talk to women, like if you want to find a woman, y'all will get on the internet, get on a dating service. You will learn the learning curve, sign up for it. You understand? Whatever the hell that it is. Why don't y'all have that zeal for the truth? You understand? Like how many of y'all smoked weed when y'all in the world? Did you let not having a Dutch stop you from getting high? Y'all probably engineered some shit. You probably got some tinfoil. How many of y'all smoked out of an apple before? Made a pipe out of tinfoil? You didn't fail. The truth got to be your blunt. You understand? Like the way you engineered and designed that pipe, that crack pipe for your weed, is how you got to engineer a way for you to find this scripture. I know y'all done drove in the rain, took a bus, or done drove to another city for some tail. I know it. I know it. I know because I walked in a blizzard once, couple blocks. Y'all think you think I let snow stop me? But you gonna let some rain stop you from getting you to the Passover? Like you gonna like how many of y'all crib was dirty until Shorty said she was coming over? Like, yeah, you gonna do it? Okay. Shorty says she want to see you. You going out there with the bleach stain on your shirt, or you changing? Or you going to the gas station to pick up a fresh tea? But you showed up to camp with bleach on your shirt? But you showed up. How many of y'all went to see Shorty wrinkled? Maybe after you hit. You know why? You got comfortable. You comfortable at camp? You comfortable at class? You showed up here in sneakers? Like you, and I mean you were teaching and you decide to be out of uniform? What happens if you go to slavery and you're out of uniform? If you work construction and you show up without boots, can you get on the construction site?
La.
You gonna show up to the Lord's campsite out of uniform? You knew the uniform for the date. That's what you knew. Yo, man, I'll never forget this, man. I hope this brother watched this class. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I remember one time this brother came through and he had a shirt or something with a Nike check on it or something like that. And I said, make sure you're in all black officially. Next time he came through, you know what I'm saying? He had a brand new Magunda on his neck and the same Nike shirt. And I said, brother, I said, I thought you were supposed to get an all black shirt. He said, oh, I didn't have the bread for it. You had the money for the new chain. You did what you wanted to do. You understand? You wanted to look fly for yourself, but not program fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't it funny how that work out?
It's like, sir, would it have been too wild if he at least took a permanent marker and written over the check or something? Like,
I mean,
minus the net, like, say he was actually broke, didn't buy the necklace, but put marker over the Nike check.
you know what I think would have been better? Getting a new shirt like he was told.
Oh, God.
Following instruction. See, that's the problem. Like, y'all always looking for a shortcut.
Mm.
Y'all wanna remix the program. Why don't we just do? I don't know if y'all remember. We celebrated the Feast of Purim, right? And Haman the Agite was the source of all our troubles and all our woes. Do you know? Okay, what does "ite" mean? Because we say we're Israelites, no ish. So what does "ite" mean? No, pass it to him. He raised his hand first, man. You trying to cheat? You cutting corners? You trying to cheat the system? Come on. I'm messing with you.
I mean, son of.
To be the son of, the direct descendant of. That's exactly what it means, right? So Agagite. He's the son of Agag. Who is Agag?
It's like sir, Agag was the son of Amalek.
He was. And he was ordered to be destroyed. Saul didn't kill him. Guess who else he didn't kill? His children, his descendants. You know what I'm saying? So you know what happened? Haman, the Agite, survived long enough to almost wipe out the entire nation of Israel because one man didn't follow an order hundreds of years ago. You want to call it a Nike check or you want to get a new shirt? Like what? Let's just do what the hell we're told. Doesn't that work? Because how many of y'all have ever done what you gone against what you were told? How'd that work out for you? Oh, it didn't work out well, did it? Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's precisely what I thought. So let's stop being rebellious children. You understand? Let's stop being children with poor discipline. You understand? Because what did the Lord, you understand, through the prophet Samuel tell King Saul? I prefer obedience, not sacrifice. You know why? Because, okay, if you had to sacrifice an ox, what did that mean?
It was a sin offering.
It was a sin. You had to sacrifice. What would have been better?
To not sin.
If you just obeyed to begin with. The sacrifice means you failed. So the sacrifice the Lord wants is what?
Slacking.
A broken and contrite spirit.
Come on.
Because if you're broken and contrite, you're going to commit the offense again? Which means you're going to obey. I mean, it sounds pretty simple to me. That's what it sounds like to me. So that's where we got to be. We got to stop cutting corners for the Most High. Because once again, you ain't cut corners for Shorty. You ain't cut corners to get to the job. How'd you show up to that job interview? Looking like a hobo? No. You showed up there fresh. You showed up there ready to represent and clean and to show your value. You showed your quality to shorty. You're not going to do it for the Lord? So, do you value a piece of tail more than the work of the Lord? You value being a slave to Esau more than the work of the Lord? Yo, man, how many hours do you work this week? On a regular basis for your slavery, how many hours you think you put in? 40? How long's camp? 6 to 8 hours? You could do 40 for the white man, but we can't do 6 to 8 for the Lord once a week? Okay. You got a question? Young man.
The Most High made that clean shirt for people to wear, and he don't wear clean shirts to the Most High.
Say that again.
Say again.
Say it again.
The Most High made that shirt, and you don't.
You got it.
You don't stay clean to the Most High.
We want to stay clean for the Most High, right? We want to be fresh for the Lord, right? Especially if he gave us the shirt, right? Give him a hand. You know what I'm saying? Brother showing some courage. So, y'all better be out here and y'all better be fresh. And then y'all better never give more. You understand? Like it's damn near like, give me, we'll close out with this. Give me Psalms 137 and find me if I forget thee, Jerusalem.
Psalm chapter 137 and verse 5. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem.
Now listen to this good. What's Jerusalem today? Us.
Right.
Your Jerusalem. The people is Jerusalem.
Mhm.
If I forget you, O Jerusalem, go ahead.
Let my right hand forget her cunning.
What does cunning mean?
Skill.
Skill. You understand? Let me forget how to fight. Let my right hand, the strength, forget all its skill. David was skilled in hands to war. Our fighting style is literally named after him. Yad Karab. Go ahead.
Verse 6. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth.
Uh-huh.
If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy.
Above your what?
Chief joy.
Brother, this truth, Jerusalem, us, each other, we got to love this above our chief joy.
Right.
You understand? I've put the truth before my ribs, before my children, but before sleep, before music, but before all the things that are my chief joys in this world. And I love my rib and ribs. I love my son. You understand? And daughter. I love sleep and naps. You understand? I love bread. I wasn't gonna eat leaven during the feast of unleavened bread. I love the Lord more than everything in this work. So as a result, shine your boots, iron your clothes, pick up that fresh tea at the gas station, and come out here and represent properly. You understand? Don't forget Jerusalem, not even for your chief joy. With that, pass the class over to Priest and officer Chaataza. My bad, my brain froze.
These are the Isupk security announcements. We are the Isupk started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Root for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'asherah means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. The Feast of First Fruits. This takes place on Sunday, May 31st, 2026. It starts before sundown. Zakir. Sunday, April 12th, 2026. Count 50 days to celebrate the 50th day. Sunday, May 31st, 2026. That starts before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 to 22. Reminder to any brother that wishes to remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any person wants to become a trooper in the school, you're required to wear all black. That includes boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That concludes the ISUPK security announcements. I know how to do it. The prayer? Salute. Oh, Salaki. Men of Israel. Oh, we're now going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imagine. Imagine Spot. Imagine. Barak. Yahaba Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Yajimatah. Now we're going to start and turn face the sisters. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Shema. Yahshua. Yajimatah. Dismissed.
Most times. I don't know why. Sometimes we do.